Hello students, welcome to Learner's Planet. This is our fifth theory session for the topic of matter in our surroundings. In this session, we'll be discussing about evaporation, that is the vaporization as well as boiling. We have already discussed about the melting point and the freezing point. In this session, we'll be discussing about evaporation and the boiling point, that why evaporation occurs and what is the process of conversion of liquid into the gaseous state or the gaseous to the liquid state. So we'll be discussing about that in this session. Now let's start our session here, students. See, the change of state from liquid to gas. The process of change of liquid state to gaseous state is called as vaporization. You all know this. Now, why the liquid vaporizes? What happens that the liquid molecules, they are leaving that surface or leaving the liquid as gases? When a liquid is heated, the molecules absorb the heat energy. Obviously, you are providing some heat energy, which gets accumulated as a potential energy. So if I'm taking up the liquid, so if this is heated, what will happen? The heat energy is supplied to the molecules. Now the molecules, they have got some energy. Now in this case, these molecules, as these are water molecules, they have got some kinetic energy also as they are moving, though the kinetic energy will be less than those of the gas molecules. And there is some potential energy also. So when it is heated, what happens? The heat energy gets accumulated as the potential energy. On further heating, intermolecular distance increases. Obviously, say, if the potential energy is accumulated over here, the molecules, they'll become more energetic and they'll try to move farther. Intermolecular force becomes almost negligible. On what? On further heating. So on further heating, what is happening? Intermolecular distance increases and also the intermolecular force of attraction decreases. That is between these particles. Potential energy changes to the kinetic energy and the molecules escape. So this potential energy, say this was water, this was liquid, right? Now in liquid, the particles are in motion only, not random or not as in gas molecules or as in gas, but they are in motion. So they do have some kinetic energy. When we are heating, the heat energy first of all accumulates as a potential energy. On further heating, this energy increases and the molecules, they separate. The intermolecular force of attraction decreases. Force of attraction decreases and the molecule starts vibrating faster. So they've got enough kinetic energy. When they've got enough kinetic energy, they escape out as gas. So water escapes out as water vapor. See, on cooling, potential energy is released in the form of heat. I've got water vapor. Say if, let's take up the example of cooking. That's the best example. What happens if in this bowl, something is cooking, say some vegetable is there, or anything, and if it's covered with a lid, what happens if you just take out the lid? You will find some water condensed over there. Water droplets you'll find. So what happens that when you are heating or when the vegetable is heated, whatever water is present, it evaporates. And it strikes the container, strikes the surface of the container as well as the surface of the lid. When it strikes, it loses its energy. Whatever energy it has increased, the energy is lost there, right? So once the energy is released, the intermolecular distances decrease. Intermolecular distances means, say, the vapor. The distance between intermolecular distance is, say, like this. When this particular set of vapor is cooled down, what will happen? This will lose energy. And when energy is lost, these particles will come closer to each other. So the intermolecular force of attraction decreases. Right? Intermolecular force of attraction increases over here, not decreases, it increases as intermolecular distances decrease. And so the state changes from vapor to liquid again. On cooling, potential energy is released in the form of heat. Intermolecular distances decrease up to a great extent. The force of attraction increases and the gaseous state changes to the liquid state. So this change is called as what? Condensation. Now, evaporation is now you have understood condensation. Condensation occurs even when cooking is done. Say whenever the water particles, say when the water particles or the water is heated, what happens? It changes to its vapor state, and when it is cooled down, it changes to its liquid state. Why so? Because it releases heat or it releases the energy. When it is cooled, the energy is released out. The intermolecular distances decrease, as a result of which the force of attraction increases and the particles, they come closer to each other. Say in case of gases, the particles are far off from each other. But in liquid, the particles are closer to each other. Now, evaporation, it is a slow process. It occurs at all temperatures. Say if we just wipe the floor, or if there is a water spill on the floor, it will evaporate. After some time, we'll find that there's no water over there. So wet floor, after some time, becomes dry because water from its surface evaporates. So what is evaporation? Evaporation is a slow process. Now let's take up boiling. What is the difference between evaporation and boiling? Let's take up that. There's one more point to discuss regarding evaporation. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. Right? That is, evaporation takes place from the surface of the liquid. It's a surface phenomenon. So, it will depend upon the surface area. More is the surface area, faster will be the evaporation. So, the larger the surface area, the faster the evaporation. When evaporation occurs, the remaining liquid on the surface becomes cooler. Why so? We'll discuss it when we'll discuss about the latent heat. The temperature of water kept in an open vessel is always lower than the temperature of water kept in the closed vessel. So these things we'll be discussing when we'll be discussing the latent heat of evaporation. For now, you remember just one thing, that when the evaporation occurs, the remaining liquid on the surface becomes cooler, and also the temperature of the water kept in an open vessel is always lower than the temperature of water kept in a covered vessel. Covered vessel, there is no evaporation. But in open vessel, there is evaporation. So we'll be discussing it in our next session, when I'll be discussing about the latent heat. Now, boiling. What is the difference between evaporation and boiling? See, evaporation is a surface phenomenon. That is, the surface molecules, they evaporate, they move out. It's like this. So, when evaporation occurs, what happens? These surface molecules, they break their force of attraction or break the bonds, and they move out in the form of vapor, and thus cooling the remaining water. But boiling is a bulk phenomenon. See, boiling is the process of change of liquid to vapor rapidly at a particular temperature and from all the parts of the liquid. So boiling takes place at a particular temperature. So evaporation takes place always. May it be a pond, a lake, a ditch, or anything, right? A pit, wherever water is there, it will evaporate. Evaporation goes on continuously, though the rate will be less because it also depends on the humidity, it depends on the temperature. The higher is the temperature, the faster will be the evaporation. Now you know the reason why. The more is the temperature, the more will be the energy supplied to the liquid, or the more the heat energy will be absorbed by the liquid. Now that heat energy will be stored as potential energy, right? Now that with the increase in the potential energy, what will happen? The molecules, they'll become apart, they'll break the force of attraction. Now that increased energy overcomes the force of attraction, and the liquid particles, they move up. But in case of boiling, what is boiling? Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. And what is it? Boiling is the process of change of liquid to vapor rapidly. It's a rapid process. See. And evaporation is a slow process. Slowly it takes place. Say if you spill half a glass of water on the floor, by evening it will be evaporated. Say if you spill it in the morning, and if you're seeing it at the night or in the evening, you'll find that the quantity of water is less, and the area is completely dry. And remember, evaporation is a slow process. It takes place slowly. Whereas boiling is what? Boiling is a process of change of liquid to vapor rapidly. It's a rapid process at a particular temperature and from all the parts of the liquid. See, if this is the liquid, so it takes place from all the parts of the liquid. That is, all the molecules, they are involved in boiling. When liquid boils, kinetic energy of the liquid molecule increases. Obviously, it will. And the molecule acquires sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the force of attraction exerted on it by other molecules. I told you that there are cohesive forces. That is the force of attraction between the particles of same type. Say if a particle is at the center, it will be attracted by the particles on all the sides. And if the particle is on the surface, it will be facing the force of attraction on the sides. So I can write it like this. It is facing the force of attraction on the sides and at the bottom. So it can easily break through these forces, right? But when the kinetic energy is high, very high, it will overcome the forces of attraction by the other molecules, exerted by other molecules, and it will escape as vapor. Now what will be the boiling point? What is boiling point actually? Boiling point is a temperature at which liquid changes into its vapor. That is, boiling point is a constant temperature. It's not that a liquid has a boiling point of 100, 150, 125, 200. It's not like that. Boiling point is a constant temperature at which liquid changes to its vapor state under normal atmospheric pressure. That is 1 atmosphere. Now when boiling occurs, that is when what? When the molecules have broken the intermolecular forces of attraction. So what happens? When this happens, the molecules begin to leave the liquid at the surface and near the walls of the vessel. Say here also, the molecule will leave from here. I told you that first of all, what will happen? The molecules present on the surface and the wall of the vessel will leave. So as a result of which, what happens? The bubbles are formed at the surface and near the walls of the vessel. You must have seen, if you boil water, bubbles are formed on the surface. And also near the sides of the vessel, the maximum number of bubbles are formed. The bubbles grow in size with further evaporation and move to the surface in quick succession, right? This causes agitation in the entire mass of the liquid, and at this stage, the liquid is said to be boiling. When bubbles are formed, say initially the bubbles are formed at the bottom and then near the walls of the vessel. When more of the energy is increased, the molecules are set free and more bubbles are formed. Now that causes some agitation in whole liquid, and at that time the liquid is said to be the boiling one. Liquid is said to be boiling. So students, what you have to remember is, say when we are boiling a liquid or when we are heating a liquid in a container, what happens? We are supplying some heat energy. Now that heat energy increases the kinetic energy of the particles. You can write it this way also. Or you can also write that the heat energy supplied increases the potential energy of the particles of liquid, right? Due to which the molecules, they move far apart or they move apart. The intermolecular forces of attraction decrease. Now on further increasing the heat, what happens? This potential energy changes to the kinetic energy, or more of the potential energy is increased. This energy changes to kinetic energy. Molecules, they start vibrating faster and they overcome the force of attraction between them. and they leave the vessel. So this is what is evaporation. Now when that vapors are condensed, what will happen? Whatever energy it has absorbed to change into vapor state, it will release. Now when it releases that energy, the potential energy of that liquid decreases, the particles, they'll come closer, the intermolecular forces of attraction will increase, and it will change into the liquid state. Now, there is a difference between evaporation and boiling. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon, right? Evaporation is a slow process. Boiling is a rapid process. That is a rapid conversion from liquid to gaseous state. And when the liquid is said to be boiling, when there are large number of bubbles in that liquid, right? When boiling begins, the entire heat supplied is used for setting the molecules free from each other. It enables them to escape as gas or vapor. See, if water is boiling, there will be bubbles all over. And whatever energy is supplied is used for what? Once the boiling point is achieved. What is boiling point? Boiling point is the constant temperature at which liquid changes into vapor under normal atmospheric pressure. So once the heat energy is supplied, say the evaporation starts. But when the liquid is said to be boiling, when the molecules which are present inside the vessel, they start overcoming or they start breaking from their intermolecular forces of attraction. So whatever energy is supplied is involved in breaking. So whatever energy is supplied is involved in breaking the intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular, between the two molecules. Just like you've got inter-school competition. Between the two schools there is a competition. Intermolecular, inter, between the two molecules. Now that energy is used for breaking these intermolecular forces of attraction and the molecules escape. Now what is a boiling point? Boiling point is the constant temperature at which the liquid changes into vapor under normal atmospheric pressure. Right? Just like the melting point, every solid has got its characteristic melting point. Likewise, every liquid has a characteristic boiling point. Right? The boiling point of alcohol is 78 degrees centigrade, whereas the water is 100 degrees centigrade. See, water molecules and alcohol. Alcohol, I'm taking, say, ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH. Now, in case of water molecules, see, in case of water molecules, there is again the force of attraction, or there is a hydrogen bonding. That is the force of attraction between hydrogen of this molecule and oxygen of this molecule. Again, hydrogen of this molecule and oxygen of this molecule. Hydrogen of this molecule and oxygen of this molecule. So students, there is hydrogen bond in water molecule, in water also, liquid water. This is, I'm talking of liquid. This is also liquid. In case of ice, how the water molecules are arranged? They form a cage-like structure. But in liquid, they're arranged like this. Say in ethyl alcohol, there is also hydrogen bonding. But because of this big group, the force of attraction is less. These two big groups, they repel each other. Right? So the force of attraction between two molecules in case of water is very high, is high as compared to ethyl alcohol, where the force of attraction between the molecules is less. Why so? Due to the presence of this big ethyl group. This is ethyl alcohol. Right? This is ethyl group. So due to the presence of ethyl group, what happens? There is a force of repulsion between the molecules also. Right? And the force of attraction is less. So which will have a lower boiling point? Alcohol, of course. The lesser is the force of attraction, the lesser is the energy required to break the force of attraction and move out. Likewise, the more is the force of attraction, the more is the energy required to break that force and move out. You can say that boiling point, that is the temperature, or that is a constant temperature at which the liquid changes to its gaseous state under normal atmospheric pressure. Now that depends on how? That depends inversely with the intermolecular. No, it's not inverse, it's direct proportional. Boiling point is directly proportional to the intermolecular force of attraction. So, more is the force of intermolecular force of attraction, more will be the temperature required to set them free, because this, for the molecules, for these molecules to move out as gases, they need to break this force. So more is the intermolecular force of attraction, more will be the boiling point. See, in case of ethyl alcohol, it's weaker than water. So less is the force of attraction. Likewise, see in students, there is one more example, that is acetone. I'll tell you about that. Let's take the example of acetone. It's not a very complicated compound, students. It is present in nail paint remover. Or spirit. Say if you take acetone on in your hand, or just put it in your hands, what happens? That it evaporates. Right? Say water, I'm taking three things here. Water, alcohol, and acetone. I'm taking acetone particularly because it's present in nail paint remover. You can, nail enamel remover, you can use it also. You can just check it out. Water, it is a boiling point of 100 degrees centigrade. Why so? Because there is the force of attraction between, that is the intermolecular force of attraction is high. That is, it is more. The intermolecular force of attraction is more. Whereas in case of alcohol, we have seen it's C2H5OH, the intermolecular force of attraction is less. Now if I take up acetone, the intermolecular force of attraction is very less. If I'll tell you the formula, it's CH3, C double bond O and CH3. There is no such hydrogen-oxygen attracting force, right? So the intermolecular force of attraction, that is the force between these two molecules, that is CH3, CO, CH3. So in acetone, there will be n number of these molecules. The force of attraction between them is very, very less, right? So, in order to evaporate water, you need to heat it till 100 degrees centigrade, till it reaches 100 degrees. To evaporate alcohol, you need to heat it till it reaches 78 degrees centigrade. But in acetone, it evaporates of its own. So, do remember one thing, whatever liquids you are provided. See students, now you're of the age that you have to think out of the book also. Right? It's not that if the example of water is given in your book, you'll just mug it up. So that is why I'm telling you this core concept that the boiling point of a liquid depends on the intermolecular force of attraction. The more is the force of attraction, the higher is the boiling point. Likewise, the melting point of a solid also depends upon the intermolecular force of attraction or interatomic force of attraction. Right? So do remember this word. If at all you'll write this word only, that intermolecular force of attraction is large or it is less, that is why the boiling point or melting point is high or less. Then also you're going to get marks. Then also you're going to get marks. And moreover, in your daily life, you're seeing so many things that you should know these basic concepts. Right? So the boiling point, it depends on the intermolecular forces of attraction. Now secondly, students, it also depends on the pressure. It increases when the pressure is increased. Now what does it mean? See, this is one thing. If we have taken this liquid in this container and if this liquid is heated, what will happen? Obviously, the molecules will evaporate. They will form vapors. Now, this container is covered with a lid, right? Now, these vapors can't escape. Though they are colliding with the container also and losing their energy, but they can't escape. So what happens at one point of time that these vapors, they start exerting pressure on the surface of liquid. When lots of vapors have been accumulated, what happens? These vapors, they exert pressure on the surface of liquid. Now this pressure is called as vapor pressure. Why vapor pressure? Because this pressure is exerted by vapors on the surface of the liquid. Right? When this vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure, the liquid boils. It means how much pressure vapor has to exert. Say if the normal atmospheric pressure is 1 atmospheres, how much pressure the vapors have to exert so that the liquid boils? It should be 1 only. Right? So if the atmospheric pressure will rise, the vapor pressure, more of the vapors will be required. Right? Say if the atmospheric pressure is 2 atmospheres. This is the atmospheric pressure. Now if it's 2 atmospheres, how much vapor pressure will be required for boiling? It should be 2 atmosphere. Right? So more is the atmospheric pressure, more the vapor pressure will be required for what? For boiling. Right? So more will be the temperature required to achieve that boiling point. Say if the atmospheric pressure is 1, at 100 degrees centigrade water boils. But if the pressure is increased, what will happen? More amount of vapor will be required. It means more amount of water should escape. It means more amount of heat should be given. See, the vapor pressure is directly linked to the intermolecular force of attraction. Now, more amount of heat is required so that more amount of vapor is produced and higher vapor pressure is produced. So what will happen? If the pressure is increased, the higher vapor pressure is required and the boiling point also increases. Right? So the cooking in pressure cooker, it takes place earlier or it takes less time as compared to cooking in what? In a bowl or something else. So what happens? Inside the pressure cooker, the pressure is increased. There's 21 lb pressure there. 21 pounds of the pressure is there inside the pressure cooker. Now, in order to attain that pressure, the liquid water doesn't boil. Water will not boil until the vapor pressure is equal to the pressure. Now, within the pressure cooker, there is high pressure. So the boiling slows down. When the boiling slows down, things get cooked earlier. Right? But if the water starts boiling, cooking delays. Fine? I hope you have understood these concepts. Do remember again, I'll repeat this. Liquid, it is boiled or it is heated. Heat energy supplied accumulates as a potential energy. More of the energy is supplied, the molecules move, they start moving. When more of the energy is supplied, the potential energy increases, which changes into the kinetic energy. The molecules, they start vibrating at a faster rate. The molecules, they then overcome the intermolecular force of attraction. They leave the surface, go up as vapors. If that container is covered with a lid, they'll start exerting pressure on the surface of liquid. That pressure is called as vapor pressure. Now, when this vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, the liquid starts boiling. So, if more is the pressure, more vapor pressure will be required and more vapor pressure will be attained at a higher temperature. Fine? So the boiling point depends on two things, the intermolecular force of attraction and also on the pressure. Right? More is the pressure, more is the boiling point. See, there's a difference between evaporation and boiling. Evaporation is a slow process. Boiling is a rapid process. Evaporation, it takes place at the surface of the liquid. Boiling, it takes place throughout and is a bulk phenomenon. Evaporation takes place at all temperatures. Boiling, it takes place at the definite and constant temperature of liquid. Say boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. Evaporation, the temperature of the liquid falls. Boiling, this is the most important point, students. You should keep this thing in mind, that in evaporation, the temperature of the liquid falls, whereas in boiling, the temperature of the liquid remains constant till all the liquid changes into vapor. Right? That is, in evaporation, the temperature of the liquid falls, whereas in boiling, the temperature remains constant until all the liquid changes into vapor. So students, this is about evaporation and boiling, the basic differences. Now I'll be concluding this session, students. In the next session, we'll be discussing about the latent heat. That is the latent heat of fusion and the latent heat of evaporation, and also their natural consequences. Right? So thank you, students. Thank you, students, for listening patiently, and do have a nice time ahead.